Okay. Everyone needs gas to fuel their car or truck or boat or lawnmower. You know, people think about gas, I think it's just for cars. That's not it. For 19 straight days, according to CBS, Tim, gas prices have gone up for 19 straight days. Who do you blame for this?
Well, a lot of the politicians and people in power would say it's the instability in the Middle East that would be causing it, but I don't know how much of a direct connection that would be, but because we don't get very much oil from Iran.
Do you work as a spokesperson for President Obama, Tim?
No, I don't.
Because that's exactly what his no, not really exactly, I'm just kidding. Because President Obama was blamed for this.
Mhm.
And his spokesperson said, in fact, President Obama said that there are reasons for gas prices going up, price of oil and gas prices, that are international in nature.
Mhm. Yeah, like it's beyond the office of the president. I think that's what he said.
That's right.
And it's just supply and demand. There's a lot more demand in general.
And many factors, he said, including Iran, what's happening in Iran, because that's a big oil producer, for us all. And I looked this up, and I did a more thorough job, by the way, than our representative person did earlier. President Obama, we have $44 billion going into oil company incentives and subsidies and tax breaks to promote oil in the United States, which is pretty much the same as his predecessor, George W. Bush. It's not like President Obama went into office and decided, I'm going to cut all the subsidies in half for the oil companies and watch the prices of gas skyrocket. It's pretty much the same. So then, but then there's another issue having to do with the number of permits for the offshore drilling for oil. The Obama administration has cut back on them from the Bush administration. But one reason was because of the BP oil spill controversy. It was not a good time to be giving out more permits when we basically had a disaster on our hands with the BP oil spill, which went on for months. But I don't know, Tim. I don't see anybody to blame here for it. Obama himself came out and said, and I quote, "There is no silver bullet."
No.
There is no one simple answer, is there?
No, there isn't. I mean, it's been going. I mean, we've had oil issues, ever since the early 1970s, haven't we? I don't know.
And then, well, it happened again today in Fort Wayne, Indiana, for all of our listeners, and probably around the country for sure. Yeah, the prices went up again. One comment. This is news and views, so we have freedom of speech, so we comment. What's interesting, Tim, is when the gas prices went down, I didn't hear anybody coming out and saying, Barack Obama, great job. But as soon as they go up, and it's happened 2 or 3 times, I think, during his 3+ years, as soon as they go up, and when they approach the $4 gallon in Chicago, I think that's pretty much the barometer there. When they get to about $4, all of a sudden he gets blamed. Now, I remember it happened before in Fort Wayne, Indiana, they went over $4. And President Obama was being blamed. Then they start to drop and drop and drop down to like $3.25 or whatever, 75 cents a gallon, and I didn't hear anybody give him any credit. It's almost like Harry Truman, the buck stops here, but you get the blame when things go bad, you don't get the credit when things go good, when you're a president?
Yeah, the president really doesn't have that much control over that either way. It's just mainly based on the overall economy. Like, it went down when the economy fell apart at the end of 2008 because the demand went down.
That's why I think it's so unfair when The Republican presidential candidates right now and others are blaming him, but they don't give him any credit when it goes the other way, and yet there's only so much he can do. There are the oil reserves, Tim, that he controls.
Yeah.
The oil reserves. But there's a problem with allowing more of that oil out because you have to replace it. The oil reserves are there really for national emergencies, and we could have one. There could be one. So here, I mean, it would be so short-sighted to release some oil from the oil reserves and then all of a sudden have some national disaster that, like, it could be tornadoes, it could be, I'm talking about God-made disasters, and we need oil, you know.
I think one of the newest, the new controversy is the Canadian pipeline.
Right, and the Keystone, is it called, the one that was going to go down to Indiana and from Canada?
I'm not sure.
Okay, no, the Canadian, it's called Canadian.
It's from Canada.
Yeah.
And that's where they have some criticism of Obama, because he wants more. Then he wanted more tests and things. And I don't know what your opinion is on that.
Well, Tim, you know what? I'm not going to give you mine because I'm not going to be like our local representative who does some little bit of research on the internet and blast the Girl Scouts. I'm not going to do that. Can I give you my opinion on Wednesday?
Sure. Yeah.
I do know this, Senator Lugar, because I would like to research this first. Senator Lugar has been and Senator Lugar, the co-sponsor of the DREAM Act, we like Senator Lugar here on News and Views, but I didn't see that he did criticize President Obama for what you just said. And it had to do with the Canadian pipeline. We will return to that subject on Wednesday when I have something more intelligent to say than I could say right now. Okay. Where do we go from here, Tim? Anything you want to bring up? News and views, issues, politicos, anything?
Well,
because if you don't, I will.
well, go ahead. I'm good at playing off of you.
Well, it works out just great. Tim, we talked about this last week, and I'm going to bring this up because now here we are in this room. We have 3 men, Raul, Tim, and Daniel. We have no women here. So this one I want to bring up. We have a representative in Georgia. Her name is State Representative Yasmin Neal, a Democrat from Georgia, who decided that she is really tired of men trying to enact laws at the state level. Now we're talking state legislatures, dealing with birth control, basically women's health in general, but it can be steps to take before you have an abortion that may be medically due to rape or incest. Doesn't matter, you still have to get more medical procedures or birth control and so on. But it's always men doing this to women. That's her point? I don't know about this one, Tim. I mean, you're too young to even think about something like this, but and not that I'm considering it, but there is a proposed ban on vasectomies. This is the bill. Now, it's interesting now that we are here. Now, here we are. She's got a good point. How do men feel about it when a woman legislator proposes something the other way that deals with men's health? Now, in many cases, a vasectomy is actually for medical purposes. You know, it truly is. Well, women make the same claim when it comes to needing birth control pills. A lot of the time it's for medical reasons, dealing with uterine cancer and so on. But now it's kind of like the old concept of the shoe is on the other foot.
Well,
isn't that interesting? Now we have a bill that goes, you know, it's only in Georgia. It's not like it's in every state in the country. But her point, and I watched her interview when she was on national TV, when she introduced the bill. She interviewed, and she said, I am doing this because I believe in the concept that people should have the right to their own health and be able to make their own decisions. And I'm tired of all the men trying to pass laws dealing with women's health So I thought, well, I'm just going to pass one that deals with men's health and see how they feel about it.
Mhm. Well, I don't think it's that black and white, because there's a lot of women who, they may not be politicians, but they are on the more conservative side with birth control and abortion and things like that. And my opinion would be, like, I would have a line between abortion and birth control, because birth control is that's your own personal choice, that's your own decisions and everything else. And then I'm sure I might disagree here, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a line between
Right.
abortion and everything else, and we're done. Oh, speed it up. Okay. I just feel that once the conception occurs, that it becomes a different person, and it's one's human's rights to be alive versus a woman's right to choose at that point.
How's this for an idea, Tim? We're running out of time.
Mhm.
How about if we track this bill and just see what happens with it? Wouldn't that be just something to be curious about? And there is a line. This has nothing to do with abortion.
Mhm.
The vasectomy thing has to do with birth control type things, plus men's health, you know.
Mhm.
So we don't have to worry about any talk about abortion
Mhm.
for this proposal.
Mhm.
Let's track that one as we go. We'll get back to you on that. We are running out of time, so I wish we had more time now, but that's the way it goes on the show. Thanks to Raul, our tremendous technician here, who keeps us on track and more. And Tim Zink and I will return on Wednesday, Tim.
Mhm.
We're looking good for Wednesday. Okay. And remember, that's the Lucas da Silva call-in on one of the 5 walkers for the remake. Thanks again to John Rogers. John Rogers, attorney at law in Fort Wayne, Indiana, located downtown on Main Street. Full service menu. Please call in Espanol 704-0682. In English, 426-0674. We thank John Rogers. We thank all of you listeners. Feedback on Facebook, News and Views with Ty Yale. Go to search and look it up. And we want some feedback, and give us some, please provide us with story ideas, topics to discuss. Adios, and have a good and safe day.